Hello, you're listening to Who Agrees with me, Kendra McPherson.
And me, Paul Black.
And as always, thank you so much to our sponsor, Iola, who keep us in the studio every week and also keep us in these lovely, beautiful frames, which we would love for you guys to have at a discounted price.
Absolutely. So we now have our own special link that you can get from the bio on our Instagram or in the episode notes, where you, our dear listeners, can enjoy 10% off any of the spectacles on the full website, any ones you want. So please go and check them out. Enjoy them.
Put them on your Christmas list.
Put them on your Christmas tree, atop your tree. Yeah. Get the massive ones and put them on top of your tree.
That's actually such a good idea.
Yeah, and get some fake snow, put them on it and all that.
There's so much you could do, actually.
Yeah, and gift them to someone if you don't want them, but you can also remember you can gift them to yourself.
Yes, exactly. This is a season of giving and give yourself the gift of sight.
The gift of sight. What better gift could you ask for?
None.
So check them out right now. So we're having a holly jolly Christmas season so far.
We are indeed. Are you feeling festive?
Yes. I'm
So
feeling really
am I.
festive. All the Christmas lights, the fact it's 17th of December, all of those things.
17th of December is actually quite a crucial time in the festive calendar, I would say.
Why?
Because you're over the first part of the ramping up to festive season. Now we're looking down the barrel of all the fun point blank range.
Okay.
So I would say the 17th, you're right in the mix with your festive do's, your works night out, your friends' nights out, the trees defo's up, no questions asked. Everything's full throttle at this point.
5 days till Who Agrees Live, Christmas night out.
Exact a
type of
frickin'
thing.
Mundo.
Is that correct? What dates is
Monday the 22nd.
22nd,
So we're with
Yeah, it's
5
5
working days until Who Agreesicles festive bonanza. Are you
Christmas.
ready?
Yeah, and there's going to be Santa Claus there.
A lot of shit's going to be happening.
It's not. I just think, see if you say something out loud, you need to commit to it. I
True.
think that we work stuff. Like, see if I just say I'm working on this or I'm doing this, I have to do it.
True.
Because then otherwise people might go,
Santa
"Did you not
might
say?"
be there.
Yes, one of yous might be dressed as
Let's
Santa.
leave that in the air.
Lorenzo, do you want to dress as Santa?
I don't know.
No, you don't.
Lorenzo's
I can tell you
grotto.
don't. Santa's tall, isn't he?
He's whatever you want him to be.
I think he's 6 foot and up.
Do you think?
Well, I seen this TikTok of this guy that hosts all around America tall nights, where you just go if you're over 6 foot, so you
Shut
don't
up.
feel like a freak.
You shouldn't feel a freak for being tall.
We call that Wednesdays at my house.
Yeah.
Well-
Boom, boom.
Listen, it's for tall men and women. Who,
Yeah, long, tall Sallys.
and they just go, and there's like a guy, and he was like, I'm 7'4" or something, and maybe not that tall, maybe. And he was like, there was someone here taller than me today. That's never happened in my entire life.
That's quite nice.
Kind of beautiful.
I think
So
Santa's
that's what the Hookies
Santa's
life is all about.
he's more renowned for being rotund, isn't he? So
But I think he's one of them rotund and tall
Do you
type of
think?
people. Aye. Well, I think he's respected a lot. So I think he's got to be 5'10" minimum,
do you think?
like me. 5'9.5".
Well, you'll be perfect stature for Santa then, so we'll put you in the little suit.
And can I ask you, that's why when we lived together, did we not measure our heights against the door?
I feel like we surely must have. We did basically any other activity we could do to not partake in actual activities you should be doing.
But that's obviously designed for when you're growing up, so you compare when you get taller over
Yeah.
the years. So I suppose
We used
it
to
would
have
be-
one at my great grand's, but
It might be pointless to do in our
when do you
flat.
think's the last time you grew?
I don't know, when do you stop when you're 18?
Do you think?
20?
Well,
Lorenzo's
apparently,
Googling it.
I
How
knew-
about you having a think, Lorenzo, right? Always on that.
I was going to say, I think some people don't stop growing for a long time. There's a basketball player who grew like 3 inches to like 7'4" over the summer.
Well, that could happen to me. But what about this? You ever had someone say this to you? Oh, you've taken a stretch?
a street. No, because I never fucking have.
Never.
Ever.
But I remember one of my friends at school, we were all the same height, and then after one summer he was 6'3", and I was like, when did it, how
I
does it?
wish that
Do you think
happened
it's
to
so mental to
me.
think that just happens to you?
Yeah.
Like
And
your
like, how do you
bones-
not? Well, you do get growing pains, obviously, but how is it not like so evident daily that you're growing larger?
What about this?
You're turning violet.
What about this? Growing Pains Productions.
There definitely will
That's
be that.
definitely-
Growing Pains
100%.
Limited.
100% ink.
Stoic Anne's Growing Pains.
Ink.
That's my new cafe.
Why would it be your new cafe?
Because it is. Because I can do whatever I want in this world.
That's so true.
If I want to open a cafe called Stoic Anne's Growing Pains, might not do well because it's not a good name, but I could do it, and that's what about. You got an answer for us, Lorenzo?
What's
You've got an answer about your
on the height?
playing cool maths game.
I was laughing.
What are you doing on that fucking
He's
computer?
playing Crazy Taxi on that computer.
Crazy Taxi.
Most people stop growing between 18 and 21. Commonly, girls stop growing about 16. 15 and boys about 16.
OMG.
And it does say in Google, if you've not grown in a few years, you're unlikely to grow anymore.
Well,
But you shrink when you get older, though, no?
aye, so I'm 20 now, I can't shrink.
But the thing is, though,
I'm 29.
I think I even surpassed some of those figures because I actually was classified as quite tall in primary school, and then I don't know what happened.
You can begin shrinking as early as your late 30s.
Shut up.
Fuck's sake.
A lot of people shrink around age 40 at a rate of half an inch per decade.
I don't want to shrink.
So half a inch per decade.
A baldy
from
half
when you're
inch per decade.
Well, that's not that much because that's only an inch and a half in 30 years.
Telling yourself that.
But if I lost an inch, if I became 5'7" when I was 70, I think I could deal with that.
You will deal with it.
Yeah, well, maybe I won't live that long.
Oh, I'm going to be shrunken, Kendra.
Yeah. And tell you what, won't shrink when you're tiny.
No, they'll drop.
That'll just get a visual
Though
image.
these tits will drop, but I'm going to try and get a boob job before then.
Yeah, defos.
So I'll be an old shrunken lady with big, huge, beautiful, large tits.
No, that's not what you want.
Subscribe
Yeah.
on Patreon.
I just put my mic away to say that, sorry. Well, speaking of games.
Yeah.
Speaking of games. So when I was on holiday, I went into this really nice wee internet cafe. Not even that. It was a bookshop, and it was loads of people just working on their laptops, and a coffee shop, that type of vibe. But it was really cool. It was cool seating off of Big Brother house.
Nice.
You noticed how that's my reference point for anything that's
Yeah. They have done a
slightly-
lot for the interior game though
Yeah.
across the years. They have done a lot.
But that's what it was like, and there was a bit that was almost like bleachers, you know, but fabric,
Oh,
which I thought was pretty cool. And you could sit with your laptop if you wanted to. Anyway, I realised that it was a bookshop that sold exclusively self-help books. Right? It was called the School of Life in
Oh,
Amsterdam.
nice.
Check it out. The smell of life,
Smell of children.
the smell of doing it together.
You could have done
Smell
School
of
and Life
life.
by Beyonce there as well, obviously.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
That's schooling life.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could have done that one.
Anyway, it was all self-help books, but they were all that shop's book. So there was literally hundreds of books, but they were all called the School of Life's book on. Then it would be I don't know,
Oh.
relationships, breakups, therapy, whatever, religion. But they were all branded by themselves, which I thought was quite an interesting way. And I'm imagine they've just put a cover on.
Yeah, I'm interested in
when
that
you would
actually.
put a Family Guy poster over your daughter in school.
I just used to use wallpaper.
Yeah, I had wallpaper, textured wallpaper.
Yeah,
It was so
I would just
embarrassing.
wallpaper my daughter.
And my friend that I sat beside in maths had a Family Guy poster, and I was
That's
so
good.
jealous.
It's funny.
But anyway, so I seen this card game. They had a little game section, right? And I use the term game loosely because it's all therapy based. And I thought they obviously have borrowed this off of a kind of drinking game type thing, or all
Yeah.
these games that are out now where it's you pull a
Like
card,
Cards
and
Against Humanity and stuff.
all that shit.
Yeah.
Right? They've went down that route, but they're actual real dilemmas. I know a lot of podcasts do agony aunt things, and we've done that before. And
I love
tell
doing
us your
them.
problem, and they're always fun. This one is funny to me because they're more serious. So I bought this card because I thought this would be good for an episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
And here they
So,
are.
woo!
So they're these beautiful cards.
Here's the game.
What are they called again? What's the box there, Lorenzo? I left it
Is
over
it
there.
the dilemma game?
The dilemma game.
The Dilemmas game.
Dilemmas game. And
Learn
let me
how to
just
solve life's trickiest conundrums.
exactly. And that's what we're here for. And let me just fan it out so you can see.
This is the type of card game that I prefer.
€18.
€18, so 15 quid. I was right.
Well
Can't hide
done.
money.
I know I'll be claiming it back to the podcast. Don't you worry. But so I thought we should shuffle these and go through them and just do it because they're now normally it's my boyfriend or my sister's husband cheated on her on her wedding day with me. That's like the ones people put in podcasts. But these are really real. So much so that I pulled 2 randomly out the deck, and one of them was about your brother trying out stand-up comedy. And then the next one I pulled, and bear in mind this was in the Netherlands, the next one I pulled out was being like, my dad is basically an arsehole and now he's dying in Scotland.
I know, that was
And I was
funny.
like, how was this the 2? That was
You
my
sent
version
them
of tarot.
That Paul, that literally is. That's the universe trying to communicate with you through channels that are available to you at that point.
That was crazy.
I'm telling you.
Right,
So are you going to ask me one, then I ask you one, or how are we going to do it?
I think we shuffle it and we just discuss.
Okay.
But in order to shuffle, I don't realize how clunky that's be. I'm going to have to put the mic down.
Okay.
So you talk through my shuffle.
Okay. Paul's shuffling now. Are you closing your eyes as well and choose at random? Okay. I'll choose at random. I am choosing at random. Got one. Okay. I'll read it out loud.
Wait, what's the category on the back?
The category is relationships are one of our favourite topics, so that's a good place for us to start. So, although you have no direct evidence, your partner's recent behaviour has led you to suspect that they are having an affair. You don't want to accuse them directly for fear of irreparably damaging the relationship, but you worry that trying to investigate behind their back would constitute a fundamental breach of trust. What would you do?
I think that's funny that I just said all the other dilemmas are always about affairs, and this one was actually about an affair. But what I would do in that situation is I would take, is it the Black China or the Khloe Kardashian approach?
Those couldn't be too quite.
Are you fucking other bitches, yes or no?
So you
to Rob
would,
Kardashian.
So you would
Black China.
You would do the irreparable damage thing.
Excuse me, I would like to. I'm going to choose the irreparable damage. Yeah, well, if you're suspecting it, they always say in their name smoke without fire, but not always true, because sometimes people can be just suspicious.
There's a lot of context involved, isn't there? Because if you don't have any solid evidence, then you're basically working off a feeling or a hunch, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, feelings or hunches are very difficult to navigate because you need to discern between what is your intuition and what is your anxiety or paranoia.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's very hard to work out the difference between those two, and that is a problem that pervades a lot of people.
This is true.
And in their relationships.
So I guess you should, I don't know, investigate further.
What I would do
No?
is, yeah, absolutely, I would investigate further with my words. So if I was
your words.
with my words, if I was feeling some type of way, I would just be like, right, I know I'm feeling this type of way. There's something going on inside to make me feel suspicious. I am going to approach with curiosity, and I am going to say, I feel like the vibe is a bit different between us at the moment. I feel like you're acting a bit differently to what you usually act like. Is there anything that we should be talking about together? And then I would go from there. I'm not necessarily saying that I would be, immediately informed if there was something to know about or not, but you need to open up the conversation.
What I would do is I would do like a big stretch and go, oh, I'm so bored. Why don't we play a game where we both look at each other's phones? That's what I would do. I would go, oh, I'm so bored. Why don't we just talk about what would happen if we were having an affair? Like, where
Who would you have an affair with if you were having an affair?
That's what I would do. I actually watched a TikTok today from a classic misunderstanding trope they use on TV. It was for Desperate Housewives where Lynette, she's the one with the twins.
Yes, she's got about 10 Waynes.
In the show, remember she was the scandal of those celebrities that paid for their children to get into like Harvard or something.
Was she?
Yeah, she went to jail. She was nearly going to jail for it.
Shut up.
Yeah, the admission scandal.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she was one of the celebrities. She paid. How rich would you be if you were the Wayne? You go, damn, I thought I'd get in.
I
My mom paid for me to get in.
know.
What the fuck's the point?
I can't believe I didn't know
That's the
that.
next dilemma. Anyway, it was an episode of Desperate Housewives where Lynette suspects that her man, who is the hottest husband,
He is
on
the hot
Desperate
husband,
Housewives,
yeah,
is he? Yeah.
She thinks he's
Susan's
having an
man's
affair.
hot, no?
Yeah. Susan's
Who goes with Orson?
Susan's new man is hot, the guy that comes onto Wisteria Lane, not her original husband. He's annoying.
Lynette's man, they have a warehouse and
Mm-hmm.
she suspects that he's going there to have affairs, and he goes there and catches his son having an affair with a lady, but
Mm-hmm.
the lady escapes before he can see who it is, and then the lady walks out and it's Edie.
Oh, yeah.
And then Lynette's outside because she's suspicious of her husband. He's going, he's having an affair with Edie. So she pulls him up. And then he's like...
Because his dad had an affair as well, didn't he? That was another
I can't
storyline.
remember. But anyway, Lynette found out that they were all like, oh, I thought you were having an affair, but it turns out her son was shagging his pal's ma. So don't jump to the first conclusion.
Yes, there can be...
It could be much worse.
What I
less
wouldn't,
worse.
what I wouldn't
Different
do
affair.
though, if I was looking out for myself in this situation, is I would try my best to do whatever it takes to not let this suspicion consume me, because actually, bottom line is, if your partner is having an affair, they are having an affair, and that's it. That's what they're doing. That's what they've chosen, right?
And you need to let them do.
Yeah, you do though. No, you do. You absolutely do. Like, if someone wants to have an affair or cheat on me, like, that's
Let
on them. They cheat on me. That's fine. They're lost. I would just want to know.
Yeah.
So the problem for me would actually more be the not knowing than the actual
Yeah.
affair. So I would just try and get as much information out of my partner naturally without necessarily being accusatory.
Would you not want to grab them by the collar and push them up a wall?
When I knew they were having an affair, yeah, I would beat them. I would beat them black and blue. But I would act accordingly before the beatings.
Okay, shall we shuffle again? Before Kendra gets done. Right, they've already been shuffled. So now you fan out and you pan to me. This
Okay.
is clunky, but we're finding our feet with the cards. So Kendra's doing another shuffle. I can't shuffle a deck of cards. Never could. Kendra's saying neither can she. There's no mic. Right, that's enough shuffling. Right, fan that MFer out.
Got it?
Yes, and the theme is work. Okay.
Work hard, play hard.
After spending a lot of time together working on several high-pressure projects, you've grown very close to one of your colleagues. Although there is nothing physical between you, you are married and feel conflicted about keeping the extent of your bond secret from your spouse.
This was close to home.
To say nothing feels suspicious, but to say something will bring on suspicion. What would you do?
Right, wait, what?
Do you know what this goes into the territory of my work husband, my work wife.
But wait, no, they are married.
Right, I would.
No, not with each other.
Oh,
So
You're
you're
married.
spending a lot of time with a colleague working on several pressure projects, and you've grown very close to them. Although there's nothing physical between you, you're married, and you feel a bit conflicted that you don't want to tell the extent of your bond with this colleague to your partner because they might think something's going
long
on.
nights in the office.
But there isn't.
How would you possibly address that without being like, oh, it's me away to work with John again. I don't love him. But there's no other way to address it. You're either working with your colleague or you're doing something different.
Yeah, like I don't go up the road to my boyfriend and be like, oh, I was working with Paul Lorenzo's tonight and we didn't shag. It's implicit.
Well, but if you were really like, say you were spending every single
And
day
it was
with
just
them,
one-on-one.
and you imagine you went home to your boyfriend and went, oh, my work husband was being so funny today. We need to. Sorry, now when people talk about that, they go their work husband, their work wife. If you're single, like, I still think it's gimpy to say that.
Yeah.
But, like, fair enough, but it is funny to me that people would genuinely
Is that
say
a
my work.
real thing?
Have you never seen it? I think
I've
it's
seen
quite
it, but
American.
I've never actually experienced it happening in a
Or
workplace.
people would just say so-and-so's my work wife, like, as in, like, that's who. I don't know, that's freaky shit.
I feel like if you are aware that there's something more, because I feel like you could spend as much time with anybody and it doesn't necessarily, like, spending time with someone does not equate to any sort of feeling or any sort of reason to be concerned unless there is actually, something has been built because you spend that time together.
And also, the office work is a really likely place for an affair to be happening, isn't it?
You know what?
It's like the place to have an affair.
It's so-
It's goated when it comes to affairs.
Yeah, that's so true.
The office.
You're so true. You are so true to me.
Positions of power in the office.
Hierarchy.
That's goated when it comes to having an affair.
Yep. Injecting a little bit of sexual prowess in an otherwise really sanitized, boring environment.
Yeah. But everyone always dressed smartly.
Yes, true.
And that's where all the tropes come from.
True. And it's like a break from your domestic life.
And it's like, fuck, work's so tough, I need to have an affair today.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's always like, oh, fuck, like the KPIs and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm just the the deal fell through with the partnership firm. Fuck, can we have an affair?
It's like, oh my God. This rota's so shit and I'm getting no annual leave. I need to go and shake that scanner with my body and yours.
Yeah, I think.
But they didn't say this dilemma didn't say affair. It just said that they're getting a bit close.
They're not having an affair yet.
It didn't say too close either. It just said they were
I totally understand this dilemma because not because I've experienced it, because it makes sense of that thing of you would be like, well, if I say something, it makes it seem like there's something.
I know.
So maybe just keep your mouth closed.
Yeah, I would maybe you know what I would do?
Until it gets an affair. Then tell them.
A fair getting. I think that I would just continue with my high-powered project and know that there is going to be a time when this series of high-powered projects end. And also what I would try and do is the KPIs, one thing about the KPIs, they'll never be done. I would make sure that in order to offset any guilt I might have of spending so much time with this person that I'm not married to, I would make sure to portion out nice amounts of time with my partner so as they know that I'm still valuing the time that we spend together. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not spending all this time with this other person instead of them. They shouldn't feel like they are at an imbalance. Do you know what I mean?
I think I should go home tonight and say to my partner, I'm so glad that Kendra and Lorenzo don't live here. Just like wee things like that. Push them in. We
kind of actually do have to broach that because we do actually spend a lot of time together in antisocial hours.
Yeah,
which does encroach upon the time.
But
that
I think
have
we're
with a
in a
partner.
very rare situation that we're of opposing sexualities. Not that that's the only reason, but I mean, like, that we are lucky in that sense that nobody would ever be, because we are people of the opposite gender.
Yeah,
so,
people wouldn't be suspicious about our motives.
Aye.
We are working on loads of high-powered projects in here all the time, and we're gains all that.
Right, let's go for one that hopefully is not about an affair now.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to.
But a lot of the world's biggest dilemmas are rooted in relationships. They control us all, don't they? Right, I'm going to go with my intuition. This card is speaking to me. It's regarding work again.
Okay.
You're working at a small startup consisting of only 4 people. You've become concerned that the behaviour of the owner and founder is inappropriate and makes you uncomfortable. You want to make a complaint, but without a HR department, the only authority you can appeal to is the boss themselves, and you don't want to damage your prospects at the company.
Who agrees Productions Limited?
Fuck me. What's it? Yous are going to become. I've been over-egging it too much. You're going to be like, Paul, is this your new product, your marketing, these dilemma cards? What the hell? We're a startup, but we don't have a 4th member.
No.
So I was so busy laughing in my head about something that could be about us again.
Basically, the crux of it is that you've become concerned that the behaviour of the owner and the founder is inappropriate and it makes you uncomfortable.
In sexual way.
Well, it doesn't say, but it's kind of inferred. But it could be numerous things. If the owner was coming out with stuff that was problematic, or you just feel uncomfortable with the way they carry on. But obviously, you don't have a HR department, so the only authority you can appeal to is the boss themselves. That's actually really tricky.
I'm going to say what I always say, right? Some things, some conflicts, some issues can only be solved with physical violence.
I knew you were going to say that.
Sometimes it's coming to fisticuffs.
But then you're
especially that, but there's no HR, so you can defos fisticuffs.
So true, actually. If there's no HR, then who's going to check me?
Just say put them up.
But imagine someone's making you uncomfortable and you just punch them without broaching it with any conversation.
People do that all the time. Someone was telling me the other day that
very old school.
Someone was telling me that years ago they'd bought ecstasy.
Mm-hmm.
I've never called it
designer
that
drug ecstasy.
Designer drug ecstasy. They bought ecstasy and they went to the guy, this isn't working. And then the guy didn't say it, and then half an hour later he just punched him for saying it wasn't working. So with no prior warning. How dare you? Anyway, look, if you've named HR department, the world's your oyster.
That's so true. That I don't actually know. I don't really.
Just say to them if you're say to them man to man or come to them as a woman.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, that's always the option you got. You say it man to man or you come to them as a woman.
It also really depends on the level of inappropriacy that the behaviour is. Like, say if they were like, do you know what? Sometimes I actually think, and maybe this is so naive and silly of me, but like, say if someone was like touching me in work and I didn't want them to, I would feel really uncomfortable. But I actually think that it's a more tangible thing to be like, do you mind not touching me in that place? You can actually stipulate, like if you can find the courage, which I know a lot of people can't, but like if you could find the courage, you can actually say, don't do that. Whereas see if someone's just general vibe or stuff they're coming out with, especially if it's in jest, is inappropriate, it's hard to check them without looking like you're being like picky. Do you know what I mean? Like it feels a little bit more subjective.
Do you know what? I seen a clip the other day of it was an interview Karen Dunbar was doing, the legend Karen Dunbar, and she was speaking about how she's found herself doing theatre in London and doing theatre in New York, and she obviously every one of us has had this experience. Like you even have it as someone with not a Glaswegian accent being in Glasgow, and then any Scottish person anywhere like down south, first thing people do is make fun of your accent, and it is fucking annoying, and it's extra annoying. Like if you're in London and people are just like Scotland, you face Scotland, all that shit, right? And we don't even live there, and I've experienced that. So imagine fucking everyone I know who lived there has experienced that to some, and it's just like it's not like offensive. It is offensive, but it's like it's more I think of like
low hanging
after
fruit.
after one instance, like thank you,
done,
that's
yeah.
And Karen the bar said she was doing a play and she just went she went in and they'd all done it, and she went, look, I'm not being like arsey or anything, but do you mind just no making fun of my accent? Like, I've had that. I'd just rather that didn't happen. And you could tell it's obviously an uncomfortable thing to do and makes you look, especially at the start, as if you've got like some sort of issue or you're like not fun or you're whatever. And she went, can you just no bring?
Or can't take a joke or whatever.
Or you're like, really serious and whatever. And she just said, I said to him, can you mind no doing that, please? And everyone's like, of course, sorry. And then she said sometimes people would do it and they'd be like, oh, fuck, I'm really sorry. Just
like it's a twitch, like they physically can't help it.
But I do admire that she went, this might make people think a certain different way about me, but actually it's important because it's making me feel uncomfortable at my work where I'm doing this every day. I don't want it.
It's so hard though, isn't it? Because I think with these types of things, like principally, I'm like, I can see myself asserting myself in those situations, and I know I have the words, but there's just something, I think if you miss, it's so weird, like unless you make a promise to yourself that if something comes up that I don't feel comfortable with, I'm going to state it, or I'm even going to state it plainly before we even get started, if you kind of know what it might be. I just think that if you miss that little millisecond to say, excuse me, don't do that, then it feels like you can't claw it back or something. That's
the problem of people pleasing or rejecting, ignoring your needs. That actually, if you don't do it at a certain time, it does feel weird to randomly bring it up, you know. But
so, what would you do?
I would say, let's open a dialogue. Have the awkward conversation and just take the emotion out of it. And you have to go, look, this is how I feel plainly. And let's talk.
Can we talk about it? Yeah, and then see how receptive they are. That's to me.
And you don't need to be accusatory, even though you could be. I think you could just be like, look, this is what's happened.
I think the key, actually, with any situations like this is working out how receptive someone is when you share it. Do you know what I mean? So say if you said that and someone genuinely didn't mean it, or they didn't get that you felt that way, because how can they know until you say, then you're like, oh, well, I'm glad that we got that out or whatever. But if someone gets defensive about it, then you kind of know that maybe their intention is to make you uncomfortable or do whatever.
And you never know when you're going to get the Cynthia Erivo. I didn't know that was happening.
You love that one at the moment.
I said it to someone the other day and I went, I even said, as Cynthia Erivo would say, I didn't know that was happening. And I was speaking to two people and it was blank response. And I was like, oh, you ever been on the fucking internet?
On our internet.
But I love the ones where she just taps her head. Or the new one where she goes like this. Where she pushes back.
There's simply too much going
on
with
she
that.
Just keeps reacting in such a way.
There's too much going on with that.
We're not speaking about anything to do with Wicked again. I put you through enough.
Wicked,
shall we do a different
no more.
one?
Yes, I do.
Wicked,
I love these I love this game. Right, so I choose now.
Just know you spread them out and I choose.
Okay.
You don't even need to shuffle because they're shuffled. Just fan them out for me. We should just have the middle and select off the top.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what... I don't know if you can read the card.
Hold it to your camera.
If you're not listening, the little illustration on the front says, hello, my name is, the classic hello, my name is sticker. Hello, my name is Virgin.
And that's okay. I
Oh,
made
please.
you God because it was all.
Then I knew how to
to
do. Lorenzo, just will you get a still of this?
Yep.
Being
Okay,
a
there we
virgin's
go.
not even a joke, guys.
I know. Well, this is from the relationship.
And what even is
sections.
virginity anyway?
Exactly. We'll get into that in a second. So, the dilemma here is you've recently begun dating, but unbeknownst to your potential partners? Oh, like you've begun dating in general. You're in the dating field. But unbeknownst to your potential partners, you are a virgin. You feel that it's important to tell them from the start, but you worry that doing so will give them the impression that you're in some way strange, repressed, or immature. What would you do? That makes me sad. I don't want anyone to feel that way.
No.
But I guess you could just communicate.
Do you know what it is, right? The problem is that virginity has been packaged to us in such a way that it's like a commodity to be taken or given. And actually, if you removed and stripped all that away from it, there wouldn't be all this hubbub around it. I do understand that it is an important rite of passage. I wouldn't try and undercut that. I do think it is. But I feel like the tropes around it or the stereotypes around it, as in being like, oh, if I slept with a virgin, they'll be like obsessed with me, or like I'll have some sort of responsibility because I took their virginity or whatever.
Right.
And I think you only really have a responsibility to ensure that that person is like comfortable and has a nice mutual time with you. It's not like you've taken something from them or they've given you something. I hate that.
Aye.
I don't like that terminology.
I think the problem with it overall, because again, I wouldn't want to invalidate someone feeling that way, right? But I think deeping it too much in general, like this full situation, is probably like, because people will be like, in the same way people will be like, oh, well, the first experience should be like this, or it should have that. I mean, like, fucking rarely anyone has like the greatest first experience of that than they imagined. But I feel like the problem is of thinking it's such a big, precious thing. And I don't know, maybe.
But that is because it is like literally from the day and hour that you can be aware of that, it's absolutely branded that way.
Aye.
Like that's the way that we are all reared to view it or feel about it, or it's like pressure to get rid of it or keep it for something special. Like it's like it has a lot of like deeper meaning attached to it. I'm not saying you should just go and throw it about, and I do think that it's important.
You can,
I think that the reason why you would be stressed out about telling someone that you were a virgin is because there seems to be something quite coveted about it. And if you happen to be dating or going with folk at a time where it's presumed a lot of them would have lost their virginity, quote unquote, you then feel like you've got to like, I don't know, like tee it up to them or something. But I would, and I probably would feel a bit like I had to announce it. Or would you you just do it and see how it goes?
That specific dilemma says that you feel like you need to bring it up, but you need to tell someone before it happens, but you don't want to seem strange. So it's like, especially if you were like at an older age where like most people are not virgins, would you feel like I need to say that?
I feel like I probably would say it, yeah. I would probably just be like, oh, but you know what I would probably do? I wouldn't actually be arsed sharing with someone just for the sake of it. So I would probably...
Matched on Tinder. I'm a virgin, by the way.
Do you know...
Opening line.
Do you know...
I would gaslight them. I would flip the narrative. I'd be like, it's fucking gross that you're not.
Yeah, you fucking tramp.
Yeah, I would go... Do you know what
you ran through, people... I'm squeaky clean over here.
No, I keep it squeaky. So I would flip the narrative around. And look, Lord's done amazing PR for you. She really has.
She really has. She really has.
And why?
I think it means new.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Like uncharted territory, perhaps, being reborn.
Virgin olive oil.
Yes.
And how crazy is it? No matter how, until maybe like
Virgin
2
Airlines.
months ago. No, that's not what I was going to say. But yes, Virgin, all the hotel.
Yeah.
Virgin Hotel.
Yeah.
Know what you think?
Virgin Mary.
Virgin Mary, aye.
Very prolific in the Virgin area.
Richard Branson obviously liked the name Virgin.
Yeah.
So there was a reason behind that. Anyway, what I was going to say is, see, every time you look at a menu in an Italian restaurant, a pizza place or whatever, I forget nearly every time until like a few months ago. I've stopped forgetting because it's ingrained in me. I always think, what's Evo again?
Evo.
It's Evo because it's 2 O's in it. So I always read it as Evo.
What does it stand for?
Extra virgin olive oil. Because every time.
Extra virgin.
Yeah.
Extra butter.
So I read that every time and I go, oh, that's like an Italian word for like sauce.
Oh, I really could do
No.
some of that now, actually.
But just virgin drinking olive oil.
I'm really hungry.
Well, I'm obsessed with salad dressings lately. I'm not. I made one once 2 weeks ago.
What did it
See, this
consist
is
of?
our inability to just speak about things normally. I'm obsessed with. I had one salad dressing, but I thought I had some salad and I thought that's boring as.
Yeah, you need a dressing.
That's terrible, but I don't have anything in. I thought I've got virgin oil, I've got salt, I've got lemon.
Nice.
You just throw it together.
Yeah, rustic.
So that goes back to the
What would
dilemma
you
of your
do?
virginness.
Would you tell someone?
I'd be like, by the way, I'm a virgin. I don't care though.
Would be the defensive virgin.
I don't care though. If you have a problem with it, it's not even a big deal. And like, if do you know what? It all goes back to losing your VL, right? That virgins.
Losing my VL was stressing me out for so long.
Me too.
So long.
I want to say I just betrayed myself by saying losing my VL because I used to hate when people say that because it's breaking your VL. Did you say that?
Well, we never
VL?
actually used to say VL in school.
Oh, I think we've discussed this.
Yeah, we never used to say that.
VL, breaking my VL was really, there was a point where it felt like that was the only thing that could ever happen.
Yeah.
And if it didn't happen immediately, life was done.
My life was like a ticking time bomb every day, and then it'd be like
Why was
another
it so
person I would
serious?
know would like kiss someone, and I'd be like, "Fuck!" Like it
really
just
did
never
feel that.
ever fucking, and it just seemed each day grew longer. My lips grew tighter and drier and less likely to neck, and it was just so
also
stressful.
You just had to make stuff up. You did, and
Were
that's
you
why,
lying about it?
No, I never lied because I had a real thing about I couldn't lie. I was going to burning fire.
Everybody knew
which
that
is
I
another
had
thing.
it. I could never have reinvented it up. I could never have been at my grand's bit necking someone. It just wasn't my vibe at all.
I get why my grand's bit and on holiday worked so well, but one of my friends did something that I thought was extra smart to get around it was that he claimed he was tongue-tied, which I think he was, but he would be like, "Oh, can he?" So, and then people were like, well, you can kiss with the tongue. Like, that wouldn't be breaking your VL. So I'm just going to note that. He would just go, nah, I'd love to, but I can't. And everyone had to kind of be like, oh, fair enough. But I was like, where was the opportunity for it to happen? Nowhere. That was stressful. And I think I was 14, which in
Paul,
school years was late.
15 before I kissed anybody. Not even like
That's normal though.
No, yeah, exactly.
It wasn't
like, what
at the
is?
time.
Who even cares? But I mean, as in, like, I hadn't even done like the whole like kissing someone on the lips in primary, like kissing a boy on the lips in primary school. Nothing. My lips were completely untouched by male lips until I was 15 years old.
That's all right.
Then I fucking cleaned up, by the way.
You made up for it. You certainly made up for lost time. I think it's so funny watch English people say lips and
Lips, and I quite like. We used to say
noshing off.
No, noshing off.
No, it's not.
Noshing someone off is sucking someone off, Paul. Are you joking me?
Oh no, I've definitely did that thing, Kendra. That's where I used something so inappropriate in the wrong context, and I don't know what it means. Like when Kendra said, we'll do a wee reach around about this project, and I was like, Kendra, that's
to like an exec producer who was male, and I said, I think we're just going to have to do a little reach around here while we were
I was
on
like,
Zoom.
Kendra, you've just offered to give him a wank from the back.
On Zoom.
He must have been confused, but he probably tuned in to see what he had in mind. Yeah, well, I didn't know that's not. You say necking. I say necking now because
Necking, I love necking, yeah.
But necking, tashing on.
Tashing on.
What was for the Valleys and what was for Geordie Shore?
Tashing on was Geordie Shore. I'm not sure about the Valleys. Necking on, I'm sure they say in Geordie Shore as well. But I would say necking on. I would say necking. Snogging.
Not winch. I've reverted back to.
I just like going with.
But again, that's something I've took for you because people make fun of me when I say it. I've had about 5 encounters in the last year where I've said going with and someone goes going with.
How?
Because it's a bit like I think people think it sounds old fashioned.
Going with. What else?
Or if you go, I was
getting
going,
with.
See if you're talking to someone who's like, oh, it was this guy that I was going with at the time, but I don't mean going out with.
Yeah, you're just going with him.
Aye.
Going with, getting off with them.
Getting off with, but I really have, because do you remember when you, again, I don't know what it was like for In the Kingdom of Five for you, but I used to laugh at because parents would say winching, and I would be like, that's such an old sounding word, but I use it all the time now.
Winching I quite like, but we never said it in Five.
What's the other thing they used to, nip, we used to say nip.
Nipping, I have heard.
Like, do you want to nip my pal, obviously?
Meeting. Are you going to meet my pal?
No, that's too formal.
Like meeting.
Nipping is crazy. And do you know what I used to hate? See if I did this to you. What's that?
Nipping me.
No, I pinched you.
No.
Because I used to hate when people would be like, he nipped me. And I'd be like, I don't know.
No. No, I wouldn't say pinched. Nip.
No.
What about this flapping gums?
Tonsil
Tongue
tennis. We've done this in the podcast.
Halfway?
Yeah.
Halfway there?
Actually have, but we'll have new listeners since then.
Yeah, that was good.
And did you have, because I told you the story, but I'll tell it again quickly. I used to, when I was practicing for when I would lose my VL, now obviously people would like kiss the back of their hand, right? But I used to watch the 4 minutes music video by Madonna and pause it. Because now there's a bit where it takes all their like skeleton, their skin away, and it's like 2 people kissing, and then it reveals their 2 tongues. And I would pause it and to work out what you do with your tongue. I used to do that all the time because I needed to know, and who was going to tell me?
That's good, Paul.
I used to go, yeah, like I used to do when I used to ask if it's okay to be a man and attracted to men but not be gay. I used to go to Yahoo Answers, and I used to ask Yahoo Answers, what do you do with your tongue when you're French kissing? And then I would Google because I would try. That was through me failing to get the answer the first time with just kissing, and I'd have to write French or French kissing.
I actually
that's with tongues.
Never really knew. I think I just went with instinct.
You work it out.
Yeah.
And some people are really bad at it.
But I had braces actually for most of my
another
early
good
kissing
way
career.
to not lose your VL with a good excuse would be like, I don't want somebody's tongue to get stuck in my braces, because I heard that happen once to a boy in my school.
Yeah, or 2 of you with braces, you could lock braces. I took
Could that truly happen?
Well, I took the risk for quite some time.
You can't be bashing teeth when you're kissing.
But like we were literally tectonic plates when we were trying to neck.
Oh.
Like imagine they locked. You could be locked in there.
Well, kids will be getting instructions off ChatGPT now instead
That's
of
sick.
like Yahoo Answers.
That is so inauthentic.
We can't go into the sadness I feel for our young generations.
Exactly.
Their approach to things that are much better for them than they were
if you
for
just
us.
find out naturally.
Right, do you want to just select the next one? You
Yeah,
can take
let
for
me.
the top, or you can shuffle again. She's shuffling again. This reminds me of when at my sister's wedding, she had a magician during the break, and then someone was like, I've been at a gaff with you, and the magician apparently just quite like to go to, like, people would hire him like the way you would hire a psychic to the house, and he would just stay on it with them for but he was a magician.
That's such a good idea. Shall I read
Free
this?
booze. Yeah, go for it.
The topic is sociability.
Oh.
Although most of your friends are now happily married and settled with house and children, boo! You are still single and live alone. Oh. You feel increasingly out of place at gatherings and find that you have less and less in common. You don't want to lose touch, but you can't see a way of maintaining a friendship when your circumstances are so different. What would you do?
I think a lot of people our age feel this way,
Defo.
or coming into feeling this way. But I think what it comes down to is, what do you want? Mm-hmm. If you want to have that, what your friends have, that's a different story. Mm-hmm. Not entirely different story, because you still might share some of the feelings. But if you don't want to have that, that's fine. And I can understand why you feel like maybe, I don't fit in anymore with my married friends that are having weddings and buying houses. But that's because, our generation have never been truly allowed to come of age.
That's true,
We've
Paul.
not. We don't get to do the things.
That's true,
That's
Paul.
true. So I think a lot of people our age feel that way.
But it's so true what you say, though. It depends what you want, because I feel like naturally, even if you did want those things and you didn't have them, or you didn't want those things and you feel a bit alienated, you still feel alone. So you still feel a bit like, I don't have as much in common. But I feel like you would stand a better chance at staying in the group if those things were aspirational to you, because then you could take a vested interest in them and you could see yourself in those situations. They're not necessarily like foreign to you. So it would maybe be more a case of, when I am in this scenario, I will feel like we've got more in common again, because we'll be back, in the same space. But if you never plan on doing those things, which is absolutely fine, you might then feel a different type of sadness, because you might feel like, I'm never going to be able to emulate what these people have because I don't want to. So am I not going to be able to be friends with them?
And I don't feel close to them because I don't have those because it can be.
But is it a case of, it's weird, isn't it? Because is it a case of then just reformulating the expectation of your friendship? Because naturally, if people have children and their life has taken a new turn and opened up a new chapter, the time that they can spend with certain people is obviously different, because there's different expectations and obligations now. But like, I don't know if that fundamentally, like, it would change the shape of your friendship.
The
But I
shape
do
of it.
the shape of it. But I do believe you can still have friends.
Oh, absolutely.
That are different to you in
You
those
just have
ways.
different friendships with them, like not
And the
necessarily in a bad way.
expectations is different. I think that's
Aye,
it. Like,
and if you just think, oh well, I know this pal isn't going to do this activity with me, or they're not going in the same way as other friends, like that's fine. It's just it's a different friendship.
also, I think it's a case of,
or you can cut them off.
or then like re-evaluating what you want and what the person can give in the friendship, trying not to be resentful of them
Aye.
because they've chosen differently from you, or it's something that you don't have yet
Aye.
if you want it, and then just kind of change the parameters, and also make sure that you are able to, because they still exist, find friends that maybe are more aligned with what you're doing in your day to day, and have both.
And see, I've seen this. There's evidence stacked upon evidence of this. See, if you're at a certain juncture where all your friends are settling down and buying houses and getting married and having babies, and you going, I just want to keep getting on it and going out, you will always find someone that wants to do that with you.
That is so true.
Well, and do you know what I say all the time, which I could write a dissertation on? Maybe not. Maybe I could write a page on. Of my thing of, like, there's like a certain type of guy, right, who you kind of go, like a straight guy, and you go, wow, you're not homophobic. And the reason is because they'll get on it with anybody that wants to get on it, so they end up on it with gay people. Do you think it's not a theory because it's true?
They have to lean on them in a way because they're dependent on
And do you know what?
them.
And then they're often together in a drug-induced state, therefore they're a bit more lovey-dovey.
Yes,
at
that's
times,
so
And they
true.
go, we are one, we are the world.
That's so true.
So drugs bring people together.
Yeah.
And end homophobia. So if you're at a certain juncture in your life where you aren't ready to stop partying, you never need to stop partying if you don't want to. But
You can have
also
the best
can.
of both.
You can have the best of both.
It's hard though,
It's up
because
to yourself.
I also feel though, like, if I get married and if I have children, obviously
You'll still be getting on.
yeah, obviously my daily life will change shape. Of course it will, and I will probably change too, because I'll realise a new part of myself
Aye.
that I've never experienced before. But I still think that I will be Bance.
Aye, and I think you'll bring your way to the pub.
Like, I'll find a way to
Aye.
make my life and who I am align with my child. But I do want to give everything over
Why? 'Cause you
to a
can-
child, but within reason.
Aye. You're like 99%.
Do you know what I mean though? Like, I want to
Myself.
become mother,
Yeah.
but I don't want to
But I think,
give up everything to do that.
But I know, I agree. And also, see if you're not sure what you want and all your friends are settling down, say one of your friends is married, take them aside and be like, look, I don't know if I maybe want to like get married, so do you mind if I shag your husband? Let him just see what it's like in the and I'll move in.
You are such an affair advocate this week.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I just every time we do something serious, I just can't I can't bear without undercutting it with humour. And that's me as a person.
Do you
We
want
need the
to
jokes back in. I'll
shuffle?
just pick the top one.
Okay.
What we got here. So we're on work. Oh, the graphics are going off. I like them.
I like them
I'd
too.
put these up in the wall.
They're cute.
There's one I actually really liked earlier
You're
that I
cute
want to. Yeah,
too.
cute too. Okay. What is it? Work. Although your current job pays well and doesn't require much effort, you feel deeply dissatisfied and unmotivated. You long to quit and pursue your passion, which involves working in a difficult and competitive creative industry with few concrete financial prospects. Though it feels like the only thing that could ever give your life meaning, what would you do?
Think about it for so long.
And take no action. Look,
Blame everyone else
Yes,
for
project
why I
blame.
can't pursue creative avenues.
well, listen, nobody that takes a certain level where you can only pursue your creative goals. I'm not at it. I'll always have to do other things here and there, or not do other things and be very skin.
Yeah.
So, like, because I know I'm lucky in ways that I've been a freelance creative for many years, but that has come with many times of financial ruin. As you know, I love saying financial ruin, right? And I've said to my brother today, and I went, that's funny because you act like to me being in financial ruin means that you had to have like an empire and it's been ruined, and I'm like, I literally drop it.
Oh,
If
I say financial
if
ruin
I'm like,
quite a
I'm
lot.
skint until I get paid next
I'm in
week.
financial ruin.
I would never not say I'm in financial
Yeah, like,
ruin if I could.
I don't necessarily like link it up with being in a better position before. I'm just in a state of financial ruin.
That's good. Thank you, because I feel like I can continue using that.
Yeah,
now.
I wouldn't
So,
stop.
The thing is, it is very difficult. Don't ever feel like
You should move back in with your parents to start with.
if you can, and that's not one emotional warfare and a deep shaking up of your psyche to do that.
Yeah.
See if you're some cunt that the first thing you say about your parents is that you love them. If you lead with that when someone asks you about your parents, move back in with your fucking parents.
Absolutely. They probably wouldn't have left.
Aye, they won't.
They
won't
wouldn't have left.
until
They
they
wouldn't have
bought a
left.
house.
Yeah.
But like, if you really love your parents and they've got a room for you to stay in, just
Stay
fucking
in it.
stay in it.
Don't pay
And pursue
rent.
your creative passions.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking hard out
If you
here.
have savings, then you can pursue your creative passions.
Aye.
Maybe we're being negative.
No, but we're being honest.
You need to have a good, I think you do need to have a good solid foundation so that taking a risk feels a little bit less risky. A lot of people would just say you need to just take the risk. I am quite risk averse. That's a problem
but you do
for
like
me.
there needs to be a point every time. There was a point for me where I was like, right, I'm not doing this job anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not doing it, and it has been really good, and then it's been really bad, and probably 50-50 measure
Do you think?
in the past 5 years.
Do you think actual 50-50?
No,
But
maybe it's been.
in reality, 50-50 is a good ratio. Like people,
Oh, aye.
people who don't want to be doing the jobs or don't want to be creative. If you could flip a coin now, and you could get a 50-50 success rate, happiness in your career, and when it's good, it's amazing, and when it's bad, it's really tough. People like.
Aye, that is-
See,
you
when
have
you
to
put it
fail
like
a ton of
that,
times.
actually, when you put it like that.
Glass half full.
Yeah, when you put it like that, actually. Do you know what my advice would be then? People, and even if I sometimes don't take my own advice, you should always pursue your dreams, shouldn't
Aye,
you?
no matter what.
You should
I agree.
always. That's the bottom line.
Always do it. Don't feel so bad in yourself that you most people are doing other things around their creative passions, because creative things don't pay well until they pay really well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And most people are just trying to make it work. And there'll be people that you don't even know that you think are doing it full time that are doing other stuff. Like most people I know creatively have got something else going on. And like
You have to wear many hats.
you have to wear many hats, which is shite at times, but you got to do it. So your dilemma is your job is killing you, but it's well paid.
Mm-hmm.
That's the good point to visit. Never worth it. No amount of salary is worth your misery. Well, maybe not true. What do you think? 100k is worth your misery. 50k and up's worth
We'll
your
start putting money aside every month, and pick a time to jump.
Yeah.
If
Protect
possible. Yeah,
yourself
because if
if
it's
you can.
well paid salary, you're right, it's not like they're yeah, that's actually a good shout.
If it's well paid,
Be
and you can
strategic.
get, and even if I think you should. I love how we're acting as if someone's asked them and not a card. But if you're like, fuck it, I want to do this. If there's a time where you're like, I can go 3 months with what I've got.
Make
yeah.
yourself a little nest egg if you can.
That's actually what I did. I'm acting like a raw dog that I knew I had a creative job coming up that aligned in the time of my contract and my actual job running out. And
That's
I was like,
quite lucky, actually.
aye.
That's decent.
So that really lucked out. And I was like, well, that will see me through this amount of time.
That's
so just
good.
go for it, and that's when you do it. And then you keep those good vibes going.
Keep
And
it pushing,
sometimes
mama.
the fire under your ass that is impending rent does push you on a wee bit, at least initially.
Yeah.
And then you kind of go, I don't care.
At least initially.
Initially.
At least
I went
initially.
to school with her, at least
That's
initially.
exactly what I was about to say. At
What
least
time are we
initially.
on? What time are we on?
Can you use that as an edit? You're talking over.
Sorry.
So what time are we on? We're at 51ish.
That's flown in.
Aye.
Okay, well
Right,
done.
wrap
Will we do
that
one
up,
more
huh?
then?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay, right, hang on.
Okay, you pick one more.
Okay, I'm going to pick one more.
You don't need to shuffle, but you can. Don't review it before. Okay, what we
Okay, got it. This one's relationships again.
Okay.
So, your close friend has confessed to you that they are cheating on their
For
partner.
fuck's
I'm getting paranoid because you know how I am, that these cards are trying to tell me something. I'm not doing another cheating scandal again. I'm just going to say it on air. I can't be arsed. I can't be arsed.
No.
Your close
From-
friend has confessed.
Sorry, just clarify. From time ago.
Oh
and you're
yeah,
like-
it's not current relationship. Unless
I just thought I'd protect
no.
a potential thing happening
Yeah,
there.
no,
Yes,
if that
from
was-
previous.
Yeah, I've got previous. That's been done to me. Anyway, your close friend has confessed to you that they are cheating on their partner with whom you are also close. You have been sworn to secrecy, but you hate being a party to their deception. That's really dramatic. Whichever course you choose will mean betraying a friendship. What would you do?
I think that it's so funny that you called that dramatic when that's literally what you would pull out at like 8:05 a.m. in a conversation with a stranger on a train.
I meant
Type of wording.
I meant the choice of phrase a party to their deception.
I could see you saying that to
I
someone.
probably say that in my sleep.
Well, that's interesting because I feel like different demographics would answer this totally different. I think a straight man would never say anything because they're like, if I don't say it now, when I cheat, eventually, I'm fine. I'm covered. So,
What would you do?
it would be hot. This implies that one of the people is your very good friend, and the other person is still in your head, considered a friend, but is your friend's partner.
Close with.
You're close with, but it's like if you like your
Yeah,
pal's
your close
partner,
friend has
like,
confessed to you.
It's not the
But
same
it says
as
with
your
whom
friend.
you are also close.
But no close friend would put you in that position.
That's true.
So what would you do?
But maybe they were in a rough time where they went, look, I fucked this up. I'm doing this.
yeah.
What would you?
Confess.
What would you
I
do?
actually think that context does matter, I would say. If it was somebody who came to you with like, they were in a terrible time or situation and it was like they're just getting their guilt out and it happened like a while ago or it just happened or something like that and they were more like needing somebody to confide in,
Mm-hmm.
I think that muddies the waters of doing the moral thing.
Of course it
Because
does.
then it's not in your... It's almost more destructive of you to get involved sometimes.
What I would absolutely do would say to them, look, I'm not judging you. You did the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
People make mistakes. You need to tell them.
Yeah. Because it would also depend.
will.
It would
Tonight.
also depend, like what Lorenzo said, in which capacity
Right.
you find it out. If it was like your friend was still being sneaky and snaky and you just happened upon it
Aye.
and you found it out, and then they tried to kind of like patch it up or like slip through it or whatever, that's
Aye.
really different to someone coming to you in a vulnerable moment and being like, I have made a mistake and I need to get this off
Aye.
my chest and I really need to speak to you about it. A lot of it is context based, I think. So I
Aye.
agree with you. If it was somebody that was doing it in a way that needed to get it off their chest and felt guilt and was just being a fallible human being, then I would...
Aye.
I would do the same as you. I would try and approach it in a non-judgmental fashion, get the information and the context out of them, but I would really, really advise them to say, because I would be like, you have brought this to me now and I don't want to
Aye.
shoulder this burden.
And I think you would have that feeling, for fuck's sake, why
Why
did you
me?
do that? Aye.
Uh-huh.
And, or even just like, why did you fucking do it? Because, see, like, especially if someone you're close to, you generally can identify their behaviours and know how they would act in certain situations. And if you're a bit, like, disappointed that they done it, I think you can still feel that and know... judge someone that's actually your pal and you care about, like, unless, I'm not saying excuse people of their behaviour, but there's nothing worse than me than a person who like, as we would call the cheating police, who wants to project, that sounds like something we would call the cheating police if it happens all the time.
I know.
But you know the type of person that has like quite an insecurity in their relationship about that, they
Or
would
just that happening to them.
aye, in general, which is
yeah.
fair enough, and it's never happened to me, and I understand it would be a really horrible thing to go through, but like, so I'm not just being like, oh, get over it. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that, but I'm saying like, it didn't like, see the type of pal that would be like, I would cut my friend off if they did that.
Yeah.
It's like, that's weird to me.
Because a lot of people though do say
I'm not
though, a
saying
lot of people
support
are
them,
like,
but-
you know, like if your friend, why would you want to keep company with someone who would cheat? And I do get that if the
People are
cheat,
flawed.
if people are flawed, but like I do think a lot of it is context and behaviour based, as in if the person is remorseful, if you can clearly
aye.
see that it was a misjudgment, which we're all capable of, none of us are perfect, and they were really sorry about it and they were honest about it and they were able to explain themselves sufficiently and there wasn't massive holes in their story, or
Aye.
it wasn't a, you know, say if it wasn't like a consistent thing. You
Oh,
know,
aye.
if something's premeditated or if something's going on over a course of a period of time, I think it's harder to excuse. So
Aye.
I just think context is always super important.
It is definitely, and you're right, I would
But
change
if
it.
you're a pure like minging, like wee freak show and you're just being really duplicitous and evil and you don't give a fuck about people, that's a different story.
What I was going to say is there could be a certain pal where someone said this has happened and you go, obviously that fucking happened.
Exactly.
Or there could be another pal and you'd be like, oh fuck, didn't expect that.
Yeah.
And my behaviours I've been talking about, that's for the friend we go,
my
fuck, I wasn't
forgiveness
expecting
barometer is very dependent on the history and the context, and if your history and your context is looking murky, my forgiveness barometer is low.
Yeah. And if you are an opportunist type person, I would say my forgiveness and my empathy for you is a bit. I just think don't be in a fucking relationship.
If you're a woman and you cheat,
it's
my
fine.
forgiveness barometer is bursting.
You were going through a lot. Things have been difficult lately.
He was asking for it.
Exactly, all things like that. If you're a man who cheats, jail, prison,
immediately.
serving
Electric
time.
chair.
Yes.
Hair, what's left of it, all frazzled off from the chair.
Absolutely.
And that's that, and that's final.
Tied to a lamppost.
Naked.
Yep. How would you feel? Well,
would
I
you
can
do?
say I would. Oh my God. I haven't even brought up what would you do with John
I
Quinones.
was actually waiting for you to bring that
is
up
our
because this is
episode.
very that.
Well, I really enjoyed the cards.
So did I. Love the cards. We can use the cards so much more. Look at how many there are of them.
Best €18 I've ever spent. Please reimburse me.
Let's keep these good vibes going.
Yeah, and see when do you know what I was thinking? These are going to be really good for, and you can borrow them. Well, they belong to the pod. But you can look at them. See when we're writing stuff, and you go, what could this character be going through right now?
That's so true.
See when you need to hit a marker
Prompts.
that's a bit like, oh, I don't really care about this, but I want to get to the bit I care about.
Oh,
but they
Paul,
need a bit
that's
of a thing.
good.
You're like, yeah.
That's really good. I'm happy with that. I've enjoyed. I hope everyone else has too.
Absolutely.
Glad that Agony answer back with a different format.
Yeah. Well, that is all we've got time for this week on Who Agrees. But remember, as always, you can watch full episodes on YouTube if you're not already. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, like those videos, comment.
Yeah, comment up the waz.
Join our Patreon and comment and contribute to our Wheel of Discourses. This is like our second Wheel of Discourse type episode.
Yeah,
actually,
it is
like our
actually.
second version of a new thing. You can contribute to anything you like there, actually. And you can also leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts. And you can come see me on tour, by the way. If you want to get someone a lovely Christmas present, please come and see that. You've been listening to Who Agrees with me, Paul Black.
And me, Kendra McPherson.
And as always, thank you to our wonderful sponsor, Iola. If you haven't heard already, Iola are treating us all this Christmas by offering our listeners 10% off all their lovely specs. So if you just use the link in our bio or in the episode notes, you can check that out right now.
Get them specs for Crimbo right now. We need everyone to be going into 2026 specky.
You don't want to be blunt.
No, you
As a
do
bot.
not.
You want to get them on, get them fit up. Because you can do that, by the way. You can get them adjusted. See if you have a pea head like me, or if you have a larger head like other people. I don't mean Kendra.
Who the hell else?
They'll adjust them for you. Your lovely Merlots. And we keep saying Merlot and Khaki, which are shades, by the way, in case you didn't know, but you can check them all out.
Yes.
There's many shades, beautiful ones. Check them out now and let us know. Send us a picture of you and your new specs. We
Yeah,
want
over
to
the
see them.
festive
Tag us.
season, please. We'd love to see. Ho, ho, ho.
Goodbye.
Bye.